This is 5.1 of Algebra. Okay, so rate of change is the change in the dependent variable over the change in the independent variable. So remember, our dependent variable is our y's, and our independent variable is our x if they use those. So over here, time is our dependent, that's our x. Time is our independent, and distance is our dependent. So time is our x and distance is our y. So if you look at what they did over here, this first one, they took these first 2 points, they subtracted the distance on the top, and they subtracted the time on the bottom. Each of these that they did, they took 2 numbers that are in a row. You don't have to choose 2 numbers in a row. So let's say we want to go with this one and this one. So we're going to do the change in the distance on top. So I'm going to do 1040 minus 520. And on the bottom, I'm going to do 4 minus 2. Right, we do distance on top and time on the bottom. So that gives me 520 over 2. And when I divide that by 2, I get 260. But we want to use our units on these. So these were originally feet and originally minutes. And we've got feet and minutes over here. If we're not really sure what that last one is, we can write it as a fraction by writing it over 1. So feet go on the top and minute go on the bottom. So it changes. We're talking about a marching band, I believe. Yep. So they march 260 feet in 1 minute. Okay, another way we can look at rate of change or slope is the vertical change over the horizontal change, or what we're commonly calling it rise over run. So rise is how much you go up or down, and run is how much you go left or right. So let's look at our got it problems down here. I go up 2, so I rise 2, and I run, I go over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So my slope is 2/5, and I can't simplify that anymore. So positive slopes go like this. I'll use a different color. Go this direction. That's positive. And negative slopes go this direction. That's negative. So let's check out this guy. I go up 2, and I go left, so I'm going negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I can simplify that. I can divide the top and the bottom by 2, which will give me negative 1 over 3. So my slope is negative 1/3. Okay, here's our official slope formula. y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So our got it problem says, what is the slope of the line through 1, 3, and 4, negative 1? So I'm going to label these. It doesn't matter which point you choose as point number 1 or point number 2. So x1, y1, x2, y2. So again, my slope formula is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. So I am going to do my y2, negative 1, minus my y1, which is 3, over my x2, which is 4, minus my x1, which is 1. So this is negative 4 over 3. Can't simplify that anymore. That would be my slope. If I instead had taken my first point as x2, y2, and my second point as my x1, y1, it'll still work. 3 minus a negative 1. Make sure you have the minus and the negative. Over 1 minus 4. 3 minus a negative 1 is the same thing as 3 plus 1. So that's 4 over 1 minus 4 is negative 3. Still get the same slope. Okay, horizontal and vertical lines. I think of a skier. if you are skiing on a horizontal line, like this one right here, unless you're cross-country skiing, which we'll ignore, but if you're skiing, you're just going to be standing there, right? You're not going down a hill. There's nothing to move you. So when you have a horizontal line, your slope is undefined. Or sorry, your slope is 0. My bad. It's when you have a vertical line, and I think of if a skier was falling off a cliff, your slope is undefined. And how this works out, when you're finding the slope and you're finding the slope of a horizontal line, you're going to get 0 over some number, which 0 divided by anything is just 0. When you're doing an undefined one, you're going to get some number over 0. It is illegal to divide by 0. We never divide by 0. So this is why it's undefined. So I picture the guy falling off the cliff as undefined, and a guy just standing there. He's not moving. His slope is 0. Here's just a summary. Our positive slope, our negative slope, slope of 0, undefined slope. And there's your homework.